we need to talk. Me and you, babes. We collectively, we need to talk. So, hello. So let's just talk for a second. So I'm pretty sure you're all aware about the TikTok ban that happened less than 24 hours ago. And it sparked a lot of conversation. You know, the reason why the government wanted to get rid of TikTok in the first place was because of national security, some about freedom of speech. But there's another side that I feel like that's honestly kind of shocking to me that I think that we need to address. People are so upset about TikTok being shut down that they've actually called 911 about it. Yeah. 911, an emergency hotline that is used for emergencies only. When somebody's in need, somebody's in trouble, that's when they call 911 for. But y'all calling 911 over the temporary ban of TikTok that only happened less than 24 hours? Now, I was aware that everybody was happy that TikTok came back, right? Literally this morning I logged into TikTok and I was like, oh, I can use it again. Okay, cool beans. Now, for me personally, I wasn't really into TikTok like that, but you know, just to have it, right? Now, when I first read about people calling 911 about the temporary TikTok ban, I couldn't believe it. I feel like it was almost surreal. But when you think about it, now this is where we get into the deep stuff, right? When we think about it, it's actually a reflection of how deeply platforms like TikTok have been embedded themselves into our lives. Daily lives, morning lives, mid-afternoon lives, even night lives too. It's not just about losing an app, a fun app to that where we would watch dances, we would have memes, where we shared a lot of good memories together from quarantine in 2020 to where it was that one trend where it was just random people doing random POVs, right? But it's about us losing our lifeline. For a lot of people, TikTok has become their main source of connection, creativity, and even their livelihood. Now, let's unpack that a bit, right? Now, I'm going to be talking about this from a spiritual perspective because y'all know me, I'm spiritual. I look at everything not just from the surface level, but from a deeper level. What does this say about us that a social media outrage could push people to this level of distress? Calling 911, like I mentioned, it is reserved for a life or death emergencies. The fact that people felt so desperate over losing TikTok that they've turned into emergency services tells us something much more deeper than expected. We reached a point where digital platforms are filling emotional and social voids in ways that they were never meant to. Never meant to at all. Think about it, right? Just think about it for a second. Social media has this way of making us feel connected, but at the same time, it isolates us. We spend hours scrolling, watching, liking, commenting, but how much of that time is truly spent engaging with others or ourselves? How often do we take a step back and ask, why am I really here? Am I looking for joy, validation, distraction? The spiritual angle here is very fascinating because from the perspective that I'm picking up is moments like these, the TikTok ban, the 911 calls, can actually be a mirror for us. They force us to reflect on how dependent we've become on the digital world and how that dependency might be impacting our inner peace. Are we really grounding ourselves in the real world, this 3D realm? Or are we living in a space where our value is tied to likes, views, and shares? Now, I want to be 100% clear. I'm not here to shame anybody for loving social media. Hell, y'all know me. I'm a creative. I love art. I'm on social media all day, every day. Literally, my career that I want to go to is marketing. And that's all about social media, data analytics, and everything. TikTok can be an amazing place. It can be an amazing platform for creatives and connection. But when we're losing access to an app triggers this level of anxiety, it's a sign that we might need to rethink how we're using these platforms. Are they tools or have they become something more? Maybe this whole situation is an opportunity for us to reset, to step back and to stop on how we're spending our time and energy. Imagine if we took even half of that time that we spent on TikTok, doom scrolling, for example, and use it to connect with people around us, dive into new hobbies, or just sit quietly with our thoughts, be present in the moment. What would that look like? For me, I think that would look like me being presently here with myself and realizing that life is just more than an app on a phone and consuming my mind with social media 24/7. And also, how would that make you feel, right? And I get it. It's not easy to unplug, especially when these apps are designed to keep us hooked. But balance is key. Remember in my last video that I told you about how not letting social media influence the choices and the actions that we have in our life? This is a great example. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. If I didn't delete all of my social media a couple weeks ago, I think I would probably be as hooked in as y'all as I would have. But since I went through that process of detaching myself from social media and not really relying on social media to be my fuel of creativity or my fuel of just something to get me through the day, I don't know where I would be. Not even gonna hold y'all. Don't even know where I would be, right? But we can enjoy TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that without letting it ruin our lives. That's why balance is key, right? Y'all know the good saying about yin and yang and everything like that. There's always a good to a bad and bad to a good, right? So let's take this moment to reflect, okay? If you felt a pang of panic when TikTok went down, or even if you didn't, but can relate to the feeling of overly attached to your phone, it's okay. You're not alone. I'm a prime example. Baby, I stay on this phone 24/7 like it's my only source of lifeline. But maybe it's time to ask yourself, and it is time to ask yourself, what else can I do to turn for joy, connection, and fulfillment? Because social media ain't going to be here forever, y'all. Gonna keep it a buck. Social media ain't going to be here forever. AI is literally taking over. And can we also talk about the fact, too, that Donald Trump, see, y'all, I don't get into politics, okay? I'm not a political person. I hate politics. But I got to bring this up because I'm spreading the truth or whatever, right? This is like uncut or nothing. How can y'all overreact over an app when there are lives being lost? My mother just told me the other day that as the first day when that man gets into office, he's going to start the deportating process of immigrants in Chicago. The first day he gets into office. January 21st. In 2 days, he's starting that deportation process the minute he gets into office. Y'all don't see the bigger picture that's going on here? They're literally distracting us from the bigger pictures that are happening outside of this world, that are happening outside of just social media alone. Yeah, I just wanted you to I want to give you a couple seconds just to let that sink in. Because babe, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Well, that's all I had to say. Peace, loves, and blessings, and I'll see y'all in my next video.